Good morning. Welcome to our community meditation. Good morning also to everyone online joining us today. Thank you all for being with us as we connect in consciousness. My name is Clay T. White, and I am your practitioner for today. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones so that we may have an uninterrupted experience together. This meditation is a blend of spoken word, long silences, and beautiful music. It will last approximately 15 minutes. So if you will now, get comfortable and go within. Lower your shoulders and let that signal for your entire body to relax. Slip your shoes off if you like. From the book, This Thing Called You, Ernest Holmes wrote, "Faith is the most important thing in your life. With that faith, you can discover all the hidden gems that God implanted within you. God sowed seeds of freedom, individuality, self-choice within you. So go within and unite with those divine realities." Spirit disseminated creativity into the deepest recesses of your soul, your heart, your entire being. Create the loving life of your dreams. Begin to allow this life to unfold. Forgiveness, sharing your good, abundance, service. As John Lewis said, good trouble, laughter, love. I know that I can make conscious use of the divine law of my being. I know that this law reacts immediately and creatively to my faith. I carefully guard my thought. I refuse to permit anything antagonistic or unlovely to enter my consciousness. Again, I refuse to permit anything antagonistic or unlovely to enter my consciousness. I am learning to live in joy, in peace, and in perfect health. I am putting my whole trust, faith, and confidence in the good. I think with clarity, move with ease, and accomplish without strain. I know that when I speak my word of good for myself, there is a direct reaction toward me. I know that when I speak my word of good for others, there is a direct reaction toward them. Speak your word of good. There is no doubt or uncertainty in my consciousness. I identify myself with the good I desire. I have a quiet contentment and an inner sense of peace. Faith is the most important thing in your life. I have an enthusiastic sense of well-being. I know that all the power there is for me. Therefore, I put on the whole armor of faith. As we begin to come back into this space, know that you are free spirit. You are perfect life. You are, I am, in conscious union with God, the spirit that is right where I am. Faith is the most important thing in your life. This concludes today's meditation. Thank you for being with us in spiritual practice. Our celebration service will begin at 10 o'clock, exactly 15 minutes.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. What a beautiful day it is in our Las Vegas Valley. Did anybody else see that amazing sunrise this morning? I don't know if anybody else is up as early as I am on a Sunday, but it was spectacular. All my favorite colors, pink, purple, red, gold, orange. It was just gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise. It kind of got me all full of stuff this morning. Of course, I'm usually full of it. But anyway, it was a beautiful, beautiful sunrise this morning. Followed by preceded by a beautiful sunset last night. We were amazed about that sunset. It was something else. Oh, anyway, I see some new faces today. Wonderful. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad you found us. If you after service, let me know how you found us. I always like to find out how we're getting the word out from other people. So welcome to our center. We are an open, loving, inclusive community. We see the presence of the divine in you. We honor it for the perfect way that it is showing up right here and right now, and we are delighted to have you here with us. I also want to acknowledge those people that are joining us online. We have a very robust online audience. So if you would turn and wave at that screen back there, that window back there, and let our online audience know that we appreciate having them with us too. We're going to kick it off this morning. Oh, goodness. Energy of God. Woo! Yes. Energy of God. So we're going to sing the song. If you'd like to stand and join us with that, the words will be up here on the screen.
Good morning, everybody. Greet your neighbor at this time if you're comfortable doing so.
Okay, it looks like everybody got their 20 hugs they need for a day. That's our purpose here. We have to get our self-care in every morning, so wonderful. We're going to shift our focus a little bit here and bring up our practitioner of the day, Clay T. White, for our invocation and affirmation. Turn it over to Clay T. and Justin.
So first for our affirmation. Ooh, written by Clay T. White. Together, let's read this. I engage in mindfulness to enhance my love affair with the infinite. Woo! Woo!
Peace is flowing like a river. Peace flows through me. Let's sing together. Love. Love is flowing like a river. Love flows through me.
So this is the time of the morning when we set the tone to receive the message. So know that you stand on holy ground. Know that there is creativity within you that is ready to flow. Allow it to soar, to just soar to the greatest heights. My life shines because I'm a beacon of the Almighty. I have faith in the law. Everything in my life works through the law, just like the law of gravity. I live in beauty and grace. Faith is the most important thing in my life. Faith is the most important thing in my life. And so it is.
All right, God. Here we go. God is flowing like a river. Flows through me. God breathes me. God breathes me. God breathes me.
Justin, Clay T., thank you so much. Lately, I've been embracing the word juicy when it comes to my spiritual practices. I have to say that affirmation was juicy. I like that. And that song we just sang, that's juicy too. We are delighted today because we get to have a speaker that is exceptionally juicy as well. I'm not sure she would appreciate me describing her that way, but you know what the. So I met this beloved person actually 10 years ago this month, right here in Las Vegas. We were at a convention together. I was doing the opening invocation, and she was sitting right in front of me in the audience. And so we connected there, and then lo and behold, a year later, we wound up in the same program for a master's degree in consciousness studies in San Diego. And we've been friends ever since that time. We've been really bonded together, and it has been my joy to be her colleague. It's been my joy to be her friend. It's been my joy to support her in her spiritual journey and to be supported by her. And so I am delighted today to introduce you to my beloved friend, Sonia Byrne.
Oh, thank you. So about 7-8 months ago, we were having a conversation, and Reverend Laura said, would you like to come to the center? We're going to have a beautiful new center. You're going to love this labyrinth we're putting together. When we chose the date, it seemed really far away. Time is doing a strange thing for us now. And then we realized, actually, it was Groundhog Day. So I am here with only bad news today. Only bad news. We're talking about a shadow. We're talking about a real shadow because our beloved groundhog says we're going to have some more winter. So when we think of the groundhog and the idea that they come out and see their shadow and there's a bit of a surprise for all of us, we may not really think that there can also be a disagreement, but I have some bad news as well. There's a disagreement around Groundhog Day. So, you might be going to church out of habit on Sunday and you wonder on the drive, am I going to learn anything today at church? Well, you're going to learn some things today because I have brought with me a fact sheet about Groundhog Day. According to folklore, a cloudy Groundhog Day on which the groundhog cannot see his shadow after coming out of hibernation signifies spring weather that will arrive before the equinox. A shadow, on the other hand, means 6 more weeks of winter. I regret to inform you that that is what happened this morning for our Puxatawny Phil in Pennsylvania. But did you know that because we're bordered here on the United States by 2 other countries that create North America, Canada and Mexico, I'm going to balance the news today. Maybe it's not quite so bad as that. In the life that I live right now, I spend my time between those 2 countries. I'm Canadian, so you may hear an accent. Oh, I see a wave in the audience, another Canadian, and Mexico. So I spend my time mostly between those 2 bordering countries. And I have to tell you right now, it's feeling like bookends to a very interesting story. Somewhat unbelievable, actually. No matter what side of that book you're on and what side of that story, it's been a very interesting week. So in Canada, we also celebrate Groundhog Day. As a matter of fact, in North America, the first Groundhog Day is celebrated in Nova Scotia because of time zones. They're ahead. I'm actually from Newfoundland, and while we don't have a groundhog in the easternmost point of North America in Newfoundland, we do have a lot of February 2nd, so we get to watch the rest of the world a half an hour ahead of everybody else in North America. And then in Mexico today is the Dia de la Candelaria, which is 40 days after the birth of Jesus. And something interesting happens today where on January 6th, on King's Day in Mexico, there's the cake, the king's bread. And interestingly, if you eat the king's bread and you get the little baby Jesus in there, then on February 2nd, you're the person who buys the tamales for the same group in a party. Now, we know that we're keeping up with economic times because the people I know who are buying tamales today ate a cake, a bread, on January 6th, and they said, well, I was only one of 4 people that got the baby Jesus, so we're splitting the cost of the tamales today. It's interesting when tradition keeps up with the economy like that. But let's go back to this Groundhog Day and the shadow. So we have 4 other groundhogs, or well, one of them is a lobster actually. We have 4 other animals that signify whether we're going to have a longer or a shorter winter in Canada. The other 4 are in Canada. One is here, and that is your Phil, who really disappointed us this morning, I have to say. But we actually have Sam, who lives in the wildlife park in Nova Scotia, and he saw his shadow this morning, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. And then Lucy the lobster in Barrington, Nova Scotia, saw her shadow and predicted 6 more weeks of winter. And then Fred la Marmotte in Quebec predicted 6 more weeks of winter as well. So there is 1 out of the 5 that did not disappoint us today, and I'd like to introduce you to him. This is Wyerton Willie in the town of Wyerton, Ontario, a couple of hours outside of Toronto. This is me in 2016 with Wyerton Willie and the then mayor of Wyerton. And you cannot make this stuff up. We were putting this talk together, and I said to Laura, I have a bona fide picture with the groundhog in Canada that does Groundhog Day. And we could not believe that we went and found this picture and put it in here. But Wyerton Willie has predicted an early spring after he did not see his shadow on Sunday morning. My bet is on him. That's my preference. There's enough bad news in the world, right? So already you're walking away with some interesting things to entertain people with at lunch or dinner today. You're going to say, I was at church and I learned some things. So let me give you a few other facts. So I have 11 facts in total here. We're on number 3. Your Phil, that groundhog, is considered immortal. Do we know if he's ever swapped out? We don't want to talk about that. That's like down in the level of Santa Claus, and we're staying away. The groundhog's average lifespan is only 6 to 8 years. But however, legend has it that America's favorite groundhog, this Phil, regularly drinks a magic elixir that extends his life by 7 years. And every year he drinks that in his hometown at the town's annual groundhog picnic in the summer. And this is how he stays immortal. Some of us in the audience are thinking, where is that stuff? And I'm going to go there. Fact number 4, groundhogs are good eaters. A groundhog only weighs about 13 pounds itself, but it can eat more than a pound of food in one sitting. It reminds me of some of the images I've seen at buffets in this town. And then groundhogs are really rather industrious. They're very good workers. They are known for digging huge burrows to live in, and they can move up to 700 pounds of soil to create that home. And then when the groundhog builds its home, it actually builds a bathroom. How civilized. It's a designated place away from the space where the family sleeps and stores its food. So it's a separation of things. Isn't that interesting? Fact number 6, February 2nd isn't just a random date. Groundhog Day falls on the 2nd of February for a reason. It's what's known as a cross-quarter day, meaning it falls at the midpoint between one season and the other. In the case of February 2nd, it's the cross-quarter day that falls between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Interesting. Making it the ideal time to consider whether or not spring will arrive. I'm going with this guy. Number 7, traditional celebrations once involved eating the groundhog. Yeah, the very first Groundhog Day celebration took place in 1860 and was hosted by a group of elders at the Groundhog Club. And they considered their namesake to be a delicacy in addition to a natural meteorologist. And so then they cooked the groundhog meat in a menu staple on Groundhog Day, and it became a picnic. And those who enjoyed it said that it's a cross between chicken and pork. Like, yeah. Number 8, we're moving along. Phil owes his status as a household name to actor Bill Murray. Anyone seen that movie, Groundhog Day, where we get to repeat again and again until we learn the lesson? That feels like life, doesn't it? So Gobbler's Knob traditionally has seen an influx of tourists on February 2nd. But with the release of this movie in 1993, it's actually caused numbers to jump to over 35,000. So it must be difficult to get a hotel room in that town. But at the time of that movie, that the town itself was only 7,000 people. So 35,000 people descend on that town. It's like a convention of accountants when they come here, right? Number 9, statistically speaking, groundhogs aren't particularly good meteorologists. Yeah, 4 to 5 today. You can pick. And to hear Phil's handlers tell it, he has a pristine weather prediction record that reflects 100% accuracy. But in reality, it's around 37 to 39% accuracy. That's in our favor today, right? Currently, the most accurate groundhog lives in Yellowknife, California, and has 50% accuracy rate. Yes. So number 10 here, the Groundhog Day was almost a Badger Day instead, because it originally evolved from the Candlemas, that same tradition that is still celebrated in Mexico today. And it was a celebration of both literal and religious light. And Candlemas itself has also been a day where people used animals to speculate the weather. For instance, medieval cults held parties by bears' dens while they waited for the grizzlies to wake up from hibernation and go check the weather. Both English and German Catholics did something similar with badgers. So when Germans settled in Pennsylvania, they found badgers were hard to come by. So the switch was made to the groundhog. You know more than you ever wanted to know about Groundhog Day right now, right? Okay, last one. This is a fun one. Phil has a wife. And they both dig a good read, apparently, because he's no longer a bachelor these days, and being the prognosticator of prognosticators, when Phil and Phyllis are busy looking for their shadows on Groundhog Day, they quietly reside at the Memorial Library in their town, and we can only guess what they like to read about most. There you go. So you heard it here, folks. And my money is still with Wyatt and Willie. These are interesting times, aren't they? So when we consider the concept of a shadow, and there's even a body of work we call shadow work, if you want to dig into that. And so many of you might be looking at me thinking, why would I want to dig into that? Why do I want to look at something that's buried in the darkness in my own life? Wikipedia says that the shadow for us is a negative function within the self, that it can include everything outside the light of consciousness. I didn't adjust that. That word consciousness is actually used in the description. It is an unconscious aspect of the personality that does not correspond with the ego ideal. So I like to think I'm this kind of person, but when my shadow comes up, maybe I'm over here in the dark. See, I am more in my shadow. Stuff is coming up that maybe I don't necessarily want to put on display. Not the best parts of me. But this can lead to the ego to resist and project the shadow, creating conflict with it. So when I witness this in my own life, I think, well, I'm still here. That's why I'm here. When I'm done with this, I'm done. So then I don't need to be here. So as long as I'm here, I guess I'm working on things, right? And that's why I'm here. So my thinking goes in a loop about it. But I like that way of thinking because it makes sense to me. And then when others come to me, as they sometimes do, and share something about themselves that they're unhappy with, I will often say, well, you're looking at that, And don't be so upset about it, because if you had resolved it by now, you wouldn't need to be here. And look, you're still here. Isn't that wonderful? But the word projection is in there. And so when we see something about ourselves and we don't really want to deal with it or acknowledge it or address it, we don't want to think of ourselves as a jerk, selfish, anything that has a negative connotation. So sometimes what we do is we see it in others, and then we invite and attract others around to play that out. Isn't that fun? And the closer the people are to us, the more we're able to play that out, which is why relationships are such wonderful mirrors for our shadow. It's like if you develop the awareness and the consciousness to be able to have fun with your shadow, then you can actually look at yourself behaving this way and say, look at me being all jealous right now. Well, that is fascinating. But it takes a little work to get to the place of not putting a good or bad label on that. And to not put a good or bad label on other people's behavior. It's kind of like dealing with children that have or two dogs, that have like a situation happening. And you think, oh, they're not bad dogs, bad children, just having a bad moment. They're exhibiting bad behavior. They're not a difficult person. They're exhibiting difficult behavior. And when we can separate that so that our behavior doesn't become the automatic stamp of who we are, we can do that for other people too. Sometimes we're kinder to other people than we are to ourselves. But if we can get curious, we can certainly move through some of what the shadow creates for us. So the 3 hallmarks of a shadow is that it feels negative. Even if it's not negative, it has an uncomfortable feeling, and you want to get rid of that stuff as fast as you can, so you project it out. And then also that it is often unconscious until it's made conscious, until we become aware. And it is so automatic. I'll sometimes work with people who have an anger situation is the easiest example. And they will say to me, my boss drives me crazy, and I have the same argument with them. And we just find ourselves in these arguments. I'm arguing all the time. I'm going to lose my job. I'm getting a reputation. Can you help me? And so I think of it as like a 1 to 10 ruler kind of thing. And I say, so when you are angry at your boss, on a scale of 1 to 10, when do you become aware? And they're like, probably like 8.5, 9. And I'll say, well, what happens at 8.5 or 9? Do you just like pop out of the situation, become all of a sudden aware and conscious and think, oh, here I am again, angry? And they say, yeah, pretty much. And so I'll say, well, what happens at like 2 or 5 or 7, or do you just blow past those? Oh yeah, I just go past them. I've got the BMW method, 0 to 8.5 in 3 seconds, and I don't see any of it. So then we work together to develop that awareness and the consciousness of what a 3 looks like, and what a 5 looks like, and what a 7 looks like, so that they can make choices along the path. Am I going to go there? And sometimes you're sitting at 3 and you're in a really angry situation, and you have an intention. You think, oh, I'm so going to 7 today with this situation. But it's a different thing to go with intention versus it being automatic and totally out of your control. So how do you know that you're in shadow stuff? How you know is that the shame, blame shows up. So shame is an inward experience. Oh, I'm a bad person. I shouldn't have done that. Blame is the outward, okay, I'm uncomfortable, who's causing this? And go looking like a spray. And so I call this the innie-outie experience. You're having either an innie shame or an outie blame, or a bit of both, right? And you have discomfort, and you want to get that outside yourself. Living in consciousness and progressing on your spiritual journey means that you are able to sit in discomfort and observe yourself. So if you have a desire to hide something inward or avoid something out there, you're probably in a shadow situation. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson has this wonderful quote, and I love that it represents our sunshine, because we are made of both light and dark elements. We are made of easy and difficult, of so-called good and bad. We are a blend, and that is making life interesting for us. And so when we keep something hidden, then we're outside our sunshine. The 5 biggest triggers of the shadow, no surprise what you're seeing on the screen here. Feeling criticized all of a sudden can have us feel like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I need to do something about this. Believe it or not, success, sometimes tied to number 5, money or not, but success, notoriety, getting attention brings about this factor of feeling like you're an imposter. Maybe you don't really deserve. And then that is a ripe path for your shadow to come out and play, da, 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 I am here. We're going to have a little fun together. Love, that real closeness, the closer somebody gets to you, the more you begin to feel uncomfortable because you can't hide your own things. And I know in my relationship, it's always interesting to go through a problem I've gone through before the relationship. Walking through a problem or challenging situation in your life with somebody right there is a very interesting experience, and you have nowhere to go. You have to deal with or create fights or drama or trauma, all the fun stuff, right? But it is right there. And the ability for us to see the light and be in consciousness around what are the uncomfortable elements of ourselves. When we invite a relationship into our lives, we invite that. And that can be friends and family as well. So any big change also makes us a little uncomfortable. A move, a job, a retirement. People retire and their partners need to find something to do because they are not used to having that person around. And it's really interesting because it's supposed to be a supposed beautiful experience. We've been waiting our whole lives. And then the first 6 months are a shit show in the house. And you're thinking, how did I get here? Wasn't I in love with this idea? Maybe I need to go back to work. So many people go back to work and we wonder why. Shadow. The last of the 5 is money, and Reverend Laura has a new book to help with that, and so stick around afterwards. So Carl Jung, who really pioneered the shadow work, has this wonderful quote, again, about the conscious, unconscious. These are not created. These quotes are not created in the last 12 months. I mean, this has been around. This is a wonderful experience to know that we are moving into something that is destined for us. As a human being, we want to move the unconscious of ourselves, of all of our parts, out into the conscious. Because if we don't, then we will call it fate. And I get the awesome experience sometimes of telling people around me and sometimes myself, hey, if you don't deal with it this time, you're coming back to deal with it again. How's that, right? Yeah, that's so just deal with it. A lot of people leave this iteration of life without having dealt with things. So it'll be waiting for you, kind of like the shadow and the groundhog. It'll be waiting next year. So in closing, I want to tell you that there's a way out of this. There's some good news in all of this bad news I've come to deliver today. That mindfulness, consciousness journey, your Science of Mind teachings, the work and the workshops and the conversations and the friendships that happen in a center like this move you forward above much of the population of the country, of the planet, in being able to self-reflect, in being able to generate awareness, in being able to actively acknowledge each other and yourself when you're in the shadow, when you are moving and transcending past something that has previously been difficult. And then the acceptance of the non-perfection of the self. Maybe you're ready for that. Maybe you're not. But nobody gets to move through all of this without having to deal with all of this, because the this that is here is so present for us right now. So the good news, you have everything you need to handle this situation. And so I invite you this coming week, when you go back out into the world with all your information and interesting tips for meeting up with people today or this week. Did you know? This week, notice what we want to throw outside of ourselves. What is a little uncomfortable and you're like, I want to get rid of that. I want to walk away from that conversation, that idea. What you want to throw outside of yourself or get away from is the shadow that is there for you to work with. And it's beautiful that you have all these tools. It's great that it is out there for us because if it moves out into the light of consciousness, it diminishes its negative impact on us. And in consciousness, it too, like the groundhog shadow, can be seen. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Sonia, very much. Juicy. That was juicy. That was juicy. That was funny. That was good. So Reverend Sonia put up these 4 steps for befriending the shadow. And as she mentioned before, the last one was money. And so oftentimes money is such a huge issue in our lives. Whether we even if we have enough, sometimes we don't feel like we don't have that idea of that I have enough, I'm still trying to get more, or there's a limit to it and things like that. I don't know if you remember back in October when we were talking about abundance and prosperity here in our services. I did an email campaign for some people. It was a little fundraiser that we did where I sent out a daily spiritual practice to clear away some of your issues around money, some of the things that might be working through us with that idea. And then after doing a wonderful writer's workshop with Reverend Sonia and a couple of other people, we did that, in the fall, September, October? Yeah. And then October, we had our prosperity series here. And then in November and December, I decided it needed to be a book. I put it together, and within 4 months, I have a hot little book in my hands, all done. So, yes. It's very exciting. The response that I'm getting from most people when they read it is, it's a lot. So I think that's a good thing. I'm kind of a lot. But I do want to read one thing, and I'm hoping I can do this without my dedication. To the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, and its leadership council, practitioners, members, and friends. You inspire me every day to be more of who I came to be. So we're launching them today. This is the first launch of it. I shouldn't say that. We took them to Mexico. I took as many as I could get because it was taking long to get them from the printers. Sold every one of them and have a list of twice as many people that she's going to take back with her. In April, we're going to do an online book study with people from Mexico, with people from Southern California, with people from the center. So keep your eye out for that. And today, the book's $15. $5 goes to the center for the book. So we'll do that here in a little bit. But this idea of shadow, clearing these things away from our life, that's what our world work is here for us to do. We are experiencing the shadow side of life right now. As Sonia said, the United States is sandwiched right between 2 other countries. Both countries have responded to things that are happening here this week. There's a lot of shadow work going on, and it is our opportunity to do our world work, to know in consciousness the truth of what is happening right here and right now, to know that there is something unfolding. We can't see it right now, but something wonderful is going to be happening through this. I keep telling people that this right now is the catalyst for the quantum leap in consciousness that this world needs, that what we are experiencing. And so when I see something on Facebook that disturbs me, I remember that. I say that to myself. I actually say it out loud. This is a catalyst for a quantum leap in consciousness. And so when you're discussing things with people as you go about your day and you're interacting, and you know you're going to walk out into the world and there are going to be people that are upset one way or another about things that are happening in our world right now. Every moment on social media, there's something that could trigger some shadow side of us. And so just remember that phrase. I am knowing that this is a catalyst for a quantum leap in consciousness. A quantum leap is that thing that goes from here to here and doesn't seem to take any effort whatsoever. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that thing that's going to launch us into our next evolution in consciousness, because that's what the world is calling for. We wouldn't be experiencing these things today if our world was not hungry for a change. And so that's our opportunity as we go out to do that work. Ernest Holmes calls it our world work. Joel Goldsmith calls it our world work. It is the work that we are called here to do. That's why you're in this room today, because you've been called here to do this work in consciousness. And it is our opportunity to further the evolution of mankind in a great way that we can't even see right now. We can't even picture it. But that's the shadow that's happening right now. And that's why it was so important that Reverend Sonia spoke about the shadow. Well, that and it's Groundhog's Day. How can you not talk about shadows? But it's a great opportunity that we have. And so let's take this into prayer. I'm going to invite our practitioners to stand and surround us. These beloved people hold us in consciousness. They know the truth when we are experiencing darkness. They can see the light that's on the other side. Catch that glimpse. Feel the power of the presence. And they bring it forth to you. Please, if you are in any kind of distress or turmoil, seek out one of our practitioners for prayer. It is available after service in our prayer room, and they're always available. Their numbers are online. You're welcome to contact them to receive prayer. And you can always ask for prayer on our website, too. We have a prayer request on there. Our practitioners and ministerial staff here hold you in consciousness throughout the week for all the prayer requests that are on there. And so let's just turn within here. I like to do that by closing my eyes, taking a breath, allowing myself to feel centered and grounded in my body. And so right here and right now, I know that there is only one power, one presence, one divine, creative love intelligence that has brought forth everyone into existence. I know this one as the isness and the allness and the fullness of all life. I know it is the beginning and the end and everything in between. I know this one as love, as peace, as infinite possibility, as the perfection and the wholeness of a love so powerful that it could do nothing else but create. And how beautifully each one of us has been created in that image and likeness of the divine, just the way that we are. We are the place where God shows up. And we are given that opportunity to be that expression of the divine in the way that is most perfect for ourselves. And so I know that as we go out into this world, today, tomorrow, next week, that we take that consciousness with us. That every place we stand is holy ground. For the presence of the divine is right there. It is in us. It is showing up through us. It is the magnificence of life itself, and how privileged we are to be that expression of God. And so I just give great thanks for this knowing. I'm so grateful to see it happening right here and right now. I'm so grateful to feel it in my body. I'm so grateful to feel the tingles and the joy that comes forth when I think about that connection with the divine. And I just release this word into the law, into that creative mind that never says yes. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only
we have in our service where we have an opportunity to support our center financially through your generous offerings here. I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. They're here to accept any cash or check donations you have. We also have quite a few online ways of, there we go, quite a few online ways that you can give as well. You can go to our website. We have a donate button on there, and you can click on it. You can Zelle if you like to do that. I'm finding Zelle really convenient lately. I really like it. And then we also have text to give. So any of those things, if you have any difficulty with any of those, Kaylee is in the back. She will be happy to help you move through that. That's why we like our young people. They can help us with all the technology. Get them going. All right, so as you get your offering ready, would you put your hands over your heart, hold your offering over there, if not, and just repeat after me. This gift I give
This gift I give
goes forth from me,
goes forth from me,
does amazing and miraculous things,
does amazing and miraculous things,
and returns to me in kind,
and returns to me in kind.
pressed down and overflowing.
Pressed down and overflowing.
And so it is. What are we
So it is.
singing? More equals give? More equals give. The
Yes.
words are on the screen if you'd like to stand and sing with us.
If you want more love, give love. If you want more joy, give joy. If you want more peace, give peace. If you want more, give. If you want more, give. If you want more money, give your money. If you want more time, give up your time. If you want more friends, be a friend. And if you want more, give. And if you want more, give. When you give, you receive. It's as simple as that. There's no effort, no struggle. It's just a simple fact. If you want to see change, be the change. If you want more truth, tell your truth. If you want more gratitude, give thanks. If you want more, give. If you want more, give.
And so we just give thanks. We give great thanks for everything that's been received here today, knowing that we are blessed by the consciousness in this community, and that consciousness pours forth from us, touching lives in ways that we can't even imagine. Thank you, God. And so it is.
So it is.
All right. A couple of announcements. As we said, we have a book signing today. And again, $5 goes to our center for this. The book is also available on Amazon and in ebook form on Kindle. But the money doesn't go to the church there because, Amazon has to take their money more. So, not that I blame them. They're totally good. But if you buy it here today, or it's going to be available in our bookstore later on, too. And if you'd like me to sign it, I'm happy to be back there to sign it, but that's not necessary if you don't want. I'm just excited. Me, I just get so excited with things. So we also have our pop-up bookstore here today. And, I told you a couple weeks ago that we were featuring a stone of the day, a stone of the month. And so this month, of course, since it's February, we're going to talk about rose quartz for love. So I have a paper and information sheet on some of the properties of rose quartz. And then on the back, since we were talking about shadow work, how to use rose quartz in a ritual to release your shadow things. So we got some beautiful pieces of rose quartz back there in our bookstore. And there's still amethyst left from last month, so help yourself. If you want just an information sheet, just go ahead and grab one. Take it home. Maybe you've already got a beautiful piece of rose quartz for yourself already. And, of course, we have lots of wonderful things back there. Some of the things are handmade gifts by members of our community. Some of them have been things that we've purchased, but it's fun. Are we doing it again next week, Kelly? 9th and the 16th. So it'll be up. We're leaving it up this week because we have quite a few events happening this week. So as I said, I took Reverend Sonia's writer's workshop back in the fall, and that prompted me to create the book. I mean, how cool is that? In less than 6 months, taking a writer's workshop and having a published book in my hand. That's pretty darn cool. So Sonia's offering it again. We're going to do an in-person service here on Tuesday night, and then it will be 4 online Zoom sessions, right? Yeah, 4 online Zoom sessions after that. And then I'm offering a monthly follow-up after that, having just like a writer's circle after we finish up our monthly, our 5 sessions with Reverend Sonia. So this is the book series is called Building the Book Within. So if you've got something that's been percolating inside of you and think, oh, that'd be a good book, I need to get that out. Or maybe you're one of those people that everybody's saying, you should write a book. Maybe this is your opportunity to do that. So there's more information. There is a poster on the bulletin board in the hallway that has a QR code that'll help you sign up for it. This is not through the center, it's through Reverend Sonia's website. So go to that QR code on there, and if you need help with that, let us know, and we'll actually let Reverend Sonia know because I'm going to be busy. So if you need help, just saying. And then Wednesday night, she and I, we did this in Mexico. What a fun experience. Now, I am not a dancer. I do not like that. I feel very uncomfortable doing that. And didn't I dance for 2 hours? 2 hours of ecstatic dancing. Part of it was chair dancing, and that's totally acceptable too. So we're going to have chairs around the outside of the circle. We've got beautiful curated music with video. So we'll have the screens all going, the lights on. Joe's going to come here and run it so professionally as he always does. It's an experience, an hour and a half from 6 to 7:30 on Wednesday night. It's $20. Go to our website and sign up on that. I think it was also in the e-blast for that too. Or you can pay at the door here if you like. We'll have some snacks and a little bit of coffee and so forth that you can eat outside and then come back in. So it's kind of it's all silent, very meditative experience of using movement as a practice to clear some of that shadow stuff out. And then the big reason Sonia's here is this weekend we're doing our women's retreat. We currently have just a few spaces left in that, so if you are at all interested in participating in that, we will still offer the early bird price for that, which was $397. So if you're interested in that, come and see us after service. And then this week we have some of our small groups meeting. On Tuesday we have our Walking the Path, which is a discussion group around the Science of Mind magazine and its daily guides. They start there, but boy, they go off into all kinds of wonderful places exploring these ideas with us. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, Fun and Games is at Judy's house. If you want more information about that, you can sign up on the website, and then she will send you an email with details. And then on the following Sunday, on February 16th, we have our women's group, and we have our Rhythm, Sound, and Soul group. That's a drumming, dancing, chanting, really cool experience at 5 o'clock on Sunday. And then women's group is at 2:30. And women's group always has some wonderful things. They are working through a book right now that I just love. It's called Imagine a Woman in Love with Herself. Fabulous epic poem. And then finally, it's that time of year, our annual meeting. Our annual meeting is going to be the last Sunday in February. If you are a registered member of Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, you are invited to participate in the meeting. You can attend if you're not a member, if you'd like to know what's happening, but only members would be allowed to vote on any of the resolutions or candidates for our new leadership council. But it'll be right here after service, starting at 11:30 on Sunday the 23rd. All right, and finally we have our moment of prayer, as I spoke about earlier. If you'd like to have a personal spiritual mind treatment, a personal prayer, go right across this hall right here outside of this door. And Clay T will be standing at the door there to receive you. Practitioners will be available for a one-on-one prayer, for a brief moment of knowing truth for you. And if you are physically able to and don't mind helping, we would really appreciate having the chairs stacked. Just don't push any chairs up against our stained glass area right over there. You can put it on either side of the altars. And because we got to clear space for a dance. So we appreciate all that. Check out our bookstore. Come and see me if you'd like to get one of my books. And like I said, we'll have those later on too. So if you're not in the state to get one right now, just come and see us later about that. All right, would you stand and hold hands? Come on up, Sonia. You don't have to hold hands, but you know, if you like to, go ahead. We are always at choice here. And would you just repeat after me? This is my favorite Ernest Holmes thing, and you'll see next month how favorite it is. Would you repeat after me? There is only one life.
There is only one life.
That life is God.
That life is God.
That life is perfect.
That life is perfect.
That life is my life now.
That life is my life now.
And so it is. Have a
So
beautiful,
it
blessed
is.
day. All right, let's go down there.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do.
All right, last time. Let's sing it out now.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Have a beautiful week, everyone.